Welcome back to Miami and welcome to qualifying. Only raw speed will separate these drivers today, but the question is, who's got what it takes to get pole?
All right, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check. We've been pushed down into P14.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend, so we'll see you all tomorrow.
Okay, radio check. Radio check. Okay, we've dropped into P14 now. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. Car repairs have set us back a little.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow.
Okay, let's have a comms check, please. Radio check. Okay, guys, everyone be aware the car's ready to go.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Sitting at the southeastern coast of Florida, the Miami International Autodrome has 19 corners and 3.36 miles of racing. It's a circuit designed to encourage close racing while meeting the highest safety standards. Either way, I'm sure it's one that will please the fans. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Antonelli, Max Verstappen and Hamilton, Tsunoda, Pierce, Hayes and Gabriel Bortoleto, Fernando Alonso, Hulkenberg, George Russell and Ocon, Sainz, Doohan, Isaac Hadjar and Pierre Gasly, Albon, Behrman, Stroll and Liam Lawson rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend. Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. So we're getting close to the start of the race, What will this driver be experiencing? Big nerves? Big excitement? What?
Always extra nerves at the start of the race, Scruffy. Probably at the start of the race, it's where your heart rate's at its highest in anticipation. And you've got to be in the right mindset. You've got to be thinking there inside the car, what can go right? How can I be opportunistic rather than what can go wrong? And how do I protect my position? Look forward and stay positive. It's easy to say, very hard to do when you're in that position.
Okay, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check. Okay, mate, I know it's tough in there. It's hot in that cockpit, but your tyres are even hotter. So you're going to have to work extra hard to keep them cool. It matters for performance. Okay, incredible parking there, nice one. That's going to give you the edge if you can get a good launch as the race starts. Keep an eye on the lights, the start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch. DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. Okay, focus. We need to stay on form. Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment. Just be careful. Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So that wraps up the sprint race, but there's still more action yet to come this weekend. We've got qualifying and, of course, the Grand Prix. Welcome back to Miami and welcome to qualifying. Only raw speed will separate these drivers today, but the question is, who's got what it takes to get pole?
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check. And we've dropped to P12. Mind that front wing, it's going to need replacing if it takes too much damage. We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car. Okay, radio check, radio check. Okay, we've been pushed down to P12. All right, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check. Okay, we don't think we're far away from rain now. I'll keep you updated as conditions change.
Welcome to the Magic City. We're here at the Miami International Autodrome, the home of the Hard Rock Stadium, a multi-purpose sports and entertainment hub which has hosted Super Bowls, Baseball World Series, numerous rock concerts, and of course, as of 2022, Formula One. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 3.36 miles of track around the Hard Rock Stadium, and 19 corners make up the Miami International Autodrome, which will challenge the drivers in a tight wheel-to-wheel race. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Piastri, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Russell, Antonelli, Hülkenberg, Hayes, and Esteban Ocon, Gasly, Bortoleto, Ollie Behrman, and Sainz, Tsunoda, Pierce, Alex Albon, and Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Hadjar, Doohan, and Liam Lawson rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today, Anthony Davidson. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd, and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, you know, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, radio check, radio check. Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out. We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. Okay, go, go, go. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. And gap to the car in front, 5.9 seconds. Joshua's coming in for his stop. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 3.8 seconds. Caution, caution. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Charles Leclerc, what a drive, what a victory, he wins! It's been a hard afternoon of brilliant racing, but now it's time for some proper celebrations. The podium awaits. And who gets to take the top step of the podium? Yes, it is I, Leclerc, Charles Leclerc on top. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.